touching on the top prop bets in the NBA today. All right, so looking at the board for today, as you guys know, I always like to set the expectation for the day with kind of looking at the board and how it's presented for the day. As it sits right now, nothing is like a standout bet. We have like one okay NHL bet and some okay NBA bets. Okay, so for the most part, it might be a wait and see approach until the tacos come out today on Taco Tuesday. Now, with that being said, obviously the morning taco or the early afternoon taco, we want to be able to attack that properly. And so we'll go about trying to attack that, trying to give you the best prop bets for that situation. And hopefully throughout the day, we get some really good ones. Typically speaking, the board is kind of tight though for a Taco Tuesday. So that was kind of the expectation, at least for this morning. And that's exactly what's happening. So let's go ahead and touch on the top prop bets for now. And guys, if the board were to only be like it is currently, like this would very much be a day like yesterday where we are scaling it back. And heck, it might be a day in which if we get a taco that we really like, we just pick a bet that's 50-50, bet the over one and bet the under one, and then just take our $10 profit and get out. It's not pretty right now. So like, I'll show you guys this. So like looking at like Sabonis over 6.5 assists, not a pretty one. Okay. So if we pull up the sportsbook odds, we can see it is slightly favored for the over at -125. And that's going to be true across the board. They are favored at -125 for the over. And if we pull it up here, we can see kind of it is one in which should be able to get the over, but it's kind of ranking out as a push. Like everything suggests that he should be able to get the over here based off of his minutes. And so if we pull it up, we can see like lately he has been under his assist total. And that kind of just seems like a random thing. Obviously, assists are going to be the one stat in which a player really can't dictate how successful they are. It really depends on how players are shooting the basketball. But like we can see, like this is the board today. This is one of the best bets that we're getting as it sits right now. Now, I am recording this, early in the AM, so this stuff could change. But we can see very much so that this would be a prop that we would probably be forced, even though the projection says it should be over, and like it correlates there. Like obviously, we like that the odds are suggesting that's going to be over, and then we like the fact that the projection is saying over. That's all great, but I want to get at least like -135, odds to hit the over. And so like DeAndre Ayton kind of going to be the same exact thing where the line that we're getting is okay. The projections are suggesting it should be over, and we can see recently has been over as well. So let's go ahead and look into it. So as it sits right now, -130. So a better number that we're getting on average. Okay, that's good. And that's on DK Sportsbook. We are seeing kind of plus numbers as well for the under, which is great. And so looking at it, we can see on average, he averages 10.2 rebounds. Okay. As long as the minutes continue to be there like they have been recently compared to his average, he should be a strong bet. And if that occurs, then he should be able to get the over here. And so we'll pull it up like, yeah, lately he has been getting a little bit more run. So obviously we want a game that's going to be closer to 35 minutes, but he has been consistently getting over that 29-minute average that we had been seeing. We look at the last game against the Kings, 12 rebounds. So that's encouraging, 35 minutes in that one as well. And because we're pulling in two props from that game already, let's just take a peek at the over and under. It is one of the higher over and unders on the slate, 233.5. And then the spread is set at like 2.5. So it should be a close game. Thus, those players are more likely to get their minutes. Thus, they're more likely to be on the court. Thus, they're more likely to hit their overs in theory, right? So let me just show you guys some other props that are somewhat popping. Like De'Aaron Fox is like the best odds bet that we're getting, but we can see the projection is actually set at 6.1. So the projections are suggesting that it's going to be under, whereas the sportsbook odds are saying -134. To me, that just seems like a push. This is where we're getting the Sabonis prop. This is where we're getting the Ayton prop. And we could potentially see like points and rebounds could be something that we want to attack. There would be a slight edge there as a whole. The thing that I worry about with Ayton is that, actually, I don't worry about that. That's not a bad bet. So they have it set at 30.5, which is exactly the difference of the rebounds and points that we're getting for a prop line. So in theory, we're getting a decent bump here. Obviously, you get a little bit of security mixed in there with points and rebounds in a situation like this. So don't hate it, don't love it. Could be a way that you go though instead. And then we just get into stuff that's really just tight. No under bets today thus far. And then if we look at where the prop lines don't match up with the prize projection or prize pick line, yeah, it is that 8 in points and rebounds. We get a decent edge there. And that's really it for the overs, guys. And then looking at the under bets here, nothing is really standing out. It's pretty much tight across the board. And so that is typically true for PrizePicks Tuesdays mornings, is that it's tough to find great lines. And so we'll go ahead and get into some NHL lines here. And those ones aren't going to be spectacular either, although they're slightly more favorable. And so like yesterday, some people were wondering why I didn't give out NHL bets. I'm just someone I'm not going to try to give out like picks to give out picks. If I see an edge, I'll call it out. And I'll typically try to tell you, like this morning, I'll try to tell you guys if it's a slight edge or a big edge, just so that, we're making the most educated decisions we can. So here's one this morning that it was looking like a good prop this morning. It was like minus 140 on DK Sportsbook to start the morning. And now across the board, it's about minus 125 across the board for the under here and about plus 115 for the over. So it's pretty much saying that 2 points is the projection today. All right. Never mind. Looking at it now, DK Sportsbook has it down to an even push. Interesting there. Okay, so forget this one. That's actually crazy. I haven't seen that in quite a while where it's just that much, and that's within like an hour. So scratch that one. And that's kind of the risk as well. It's like, we're making these bets based off of the best odds that we're getting, but the lines can change. And obviously we know that, especially with NBA DFS where stuff changes throughout the day. That's going to happen. Situations change, All right, so a similar one, and we'll see if it holds up. Taylor Hall under 2.5 shots on goal, basically the exact same thing. Minus 125 for the under, plus 115 for the over. Let's see if it's still there. Okay, it is. Good. Whew. So like in an okay bet, and we can see DK Sportsbook has it more set at minus 130. Okay bet there. And that's the thing, guys. Like, we're not getting that many good number bets right now. And then our free square from last week's Taco Tuesday. I don't love it, but the over is set at minus 123 across the board and plus like 90 for the under. So like the over would be here. And right now, DK Sportsbook has it set at minus 130. So, favorable bets there. It's okay. I wish we were getting better bets. I do. And so like typically speaking, guys, I would wait until we were getting better bets on the day. But with the Taco Tuesday, sometimes those morning props will come out and the lines won't have changed too much. And, at some point we'll just have to make some educated decisions and hope that we go 3 for 5 with them, with the tacos, So Bryce Hopkins over 1.5 assists is like the best line that we're getting right now. Okay. And I say that because he's minus 135 to get over 1.5 assists. Still not a good number. Typically speaking, we want to find bets that are going to be minus 137 or better, because then we're gaining an edge on PrizePicks as compared to like a sports book. It's a fine bet. Best one we're getting today. And we also have a very similar one to that. The over 3.5 assists here as well is going to be the exact same thing, where it's minus 135. Okay. So 2 okay bets. And obviously they're favored. Like, we are getting minus 130 numbers, which is about like a 55% chance to get the over. So sure, more times than not they'll hit, but it's not ideal. Today's not ideal thus far. I do have a few other bets that I just wanted to touch on. So sometimes on days like today where we're not getting like great lines, and fantasy score just came out, so I'm going to refresh my data to see if we have any fantasy score props that we could maybe attack. But days like today, I don't mind just like chasing a foul on a shot attempt for some of these guys, like Keegan Murray. Like, we can see, not great. Like, just doesn't get to the free throw line that much. But if he does, it's pretty much a guarantee, And the one I would like a little bit more would be Kevin Huerter over free throws, because all he has to do is make one. And he just has to get to the free throw line pretty much. I don't mind that. And then kind of just a random one we were getting, Harry Kane over shots on target 1. And if we just pull up his game log, we can kind of see that, consistently gets around 1 shot on target. So chances are it's going to be a push. We would take a push with a taco. And then Raid here, just over 0.5 shots. That's also going to be the exact same thing as kind of like the free throw. We can see 2 out of 5, his last 5 games has had a shot. Obviously a little bit risky. So you guys won't know this, but I'm going to go ahead and refresh the data here and see if we have any fantasy score ones that are worthwhile. All right, so I refreshed it, just taking a peek here, seeing if there's any edges here. No, not with Drew Holiday, not with Grayson. Could do Giannis under projection, and I probably would agree with that, just given the matchup with Boston should be more difficult. Yes, I don't mind that. Derek White just really depends on Malcolm Brogdon playing or not, but does get a tougher matchup. Like, if Malcolm Brogdon plays, it's gonna be very difficult for Derek White to get that over. I don't love betting the unders as well. So guys, there's going to be no like bets of the day just yet. I want to give you guys information to be able to place some bets if you felt the need to when the tacos come out. Obviously, we kind of want to wait until the end of that ticker to see if we're getting some good props. If we're not, at least we have some educated decisions, prop bets that we can make, and hopefully just 3 out of 5 hit. I did put out a Taco Tuesday video kind of covering that as well, kind of the strategy to profit each time on Taco Tuesday. So make sure to watch that as well. But that's all, guys. I do plan on doing an afternoon video here as well. Yesterday came out like an hour and a half before lineup lock, and that was because we weren't getting any good props. And that ended up holding up to be pretty true. I think it went like 55% were the prop hits yesterday on the afternoon video. And the only reason I came out with that was because we were getting slightly better props. And so hopefully this afternoon we do get better props as the day progresses. Fingers crossed. You know, we can't control that. I'm hoping that we do. And we should have some golf bets. I'm going to be updating that data here as well. So if we get some like prime golf bets, I'll include that in there as well. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Let's have a good slate. Fingers crossed. And as always, let's keep cashing.